Good morning, boys and girls. I thought today I'd include Zuri here while since we're reading Because of Winn-Dixie, I figured it's not a dog, so she might enjoy it. So, all right, Zuri, let's listen up and see how this goes. You ready, Zuri? All right, here we go. We're on to chapter 15, and remember, everyone needs to work on their quiz today. So, it's already out there. So just remember to turn that in. All right, chapter 15. The Herman W. Block Memorial Library's air conditioning unit didn't work very good, and there was only one fan. And from the minute me and Winn-Dixie got to the library, he hogged it. You do that sometimes too, don't you? He lay right in front of it and wagged his tail and let it blow his fur all around. Some of his fur was pretty loose and blew right off of him like a dandelion puff. I worried about him hogging the fan, and I worried about the fan blowing him bald. But Miss Franny said not to worry about either thing, that Winn-Dixie could hog the fan if he wanted, and she had never in her life seen a dog made bald by a fan. Sometimes, when Miss Franny was telling a story, she would have a fit. They were small fits. They didn't last long. But what happened was she would forget what she was saying. She would just stop and start to shake a little, like a leaf. And when that happened, Winn-Dixie would get up from the fan and sit right at Miss Franny Block's side. He would sit up tall, protecting her with his ears standing up straight on his head, like soldiers. And when Miss Franny stopped shaking and started talking again, Winn-Dixie would lick her hand and lie back down in front of the fan. Whenever Miss Franny had one of her fits, it reminded me of Winn-Dixie in a thunderstorm. And there were lots of thunderstorms that summer. And I got real good at holding on to Winn-Dixie whenever they came. I held on to him and comforted him and whispered to him and rocked him, just the same way he tried to comfort Miss Franny when she had her fits. You've helped me too, right, buddy? Only I held on to Winn-Dixie for another reason too. I held on to him tight so he wouldn't run away. It all made me think about Gloria Dump. I wondered who comforted her when she heard those bottles knocking together, those ghosts chattering about the things she had done wrong. I wanted to comfort Gloria Dump, and I decided that the best way to do that would be to read her a book. Read it to her loud enough to keep the ghosts away. And so I asked Miss Franny, I said, Miss Franny, I've got a grown up friend whose eyes are going on her, and I'd like to read her a book out loud. Do you have any suggestions? Suggestions? Miss Franny said, Yes, ma'am, I have suggestions. Of course, I have suggestions. How about Gone with the Wind? What's that about? Why, said Miss Franny, it's a wonderful story about the Civil War. The Civil War, I said. Do not tell me you've never heard of the Civil War. Miss Franny Block looked like she was going to faint. She waved her hands in front of her face. I know about the Civil War, I told her. That was the war between the South and the North over slavery. Oh, yes, slavery, yes, Miss Franny said. It was also about states' rights and money. It was a terrible war. My great grandfather fought in that war, and he was just a boy. Your great grandfather? Oh, yes, Litmus W. Block. Now, there's another story for you. Winn-Dixie yawned real big and lay down on her side with a thump and a sigh. I swear he knew that phrase. Now there's a story. And he knew it meant we weren't going anywhere real soon. Go ahead and tell it to me, Miss Franny, I said. And I sat down cross-legged sitting right next to Winn-Dixie. I pushed him and tried to get him to share the fan, but he pretended he was asleep. And he wouldn't even move. I was all settled in and ready for a good story when the door banged open, and guess what? Pinch faced Amanda Wilkinson came in. When Dixie sat up and stared at her, he, tr- he tried out a smile on her, but she didn't smile back, and so he lay down again. I'm ready for another book, Amanda said, slamming the book down on Miss Franny's desk. Well, now, said Miss Franny, maybe you wouldn't mind waiting. I'm telling Indy Opal a story about my grandfather. You are, of course, more than welcome to listen. It will be just 1 minute. Amanda sighed a real dramatic sigh and stared past me. She pretended like she wasn't interested, but she was, I could tell. Come sit over here, said Miss Franny. I'll stand, thank you, said Amanda. Suit yourself now. Miss Franny shrugged. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah, Litmus W. Block. All right, and that story about the Civil War will be in the next chapter, chapter 16. So, to give you an idea of where we're at right now, we are at chapter 16, and there are 26 chapters. So we will have this book completed before we go off to Christmas break. All right. All right, boys and girls. Enjoy the rest of your day and remember to finish those questions. Right, Zuri? Right, Zuri? Yeah. All right. All right. Bye bye. Have an awesome day.